Well, what a full moon we are in for with a full moon in Capricorn in July. There is so much I could possibly talk about and get through, but I want to make this video as succinct and clear as possible for you so you can really work with the energy of this full moon to help you do what we traditionally do at a full moon, which is release anything that is weighing us down or holding us back. So this is actually the second full moon in the sign of Capricorn that we've had consecutively. We had the first full moon in Capricorn back in June, and now we are at our second full moon in Capricorn. This is rare, so technically it's called a blue moon because it is the second one in Capricorn. But the first one we had in Capricorn actually sat at the first degree of Capricorn. So it was a full moon where it was actually quite interesting energy, where we were looking at new beginnings as well as releasing at the same time because it had that fresh new energy. We've also had a new moon in Gemini and a new moon in Cancer. And at those new moons, we were asked to really dig deep and to say to ourselves, what is it that our heart truly does desire? Now at this full moon in Capricorn, we're getting really, really serious about it. And I'm calling this the superhero self full moon, because this full moon sits at the 29th degree of Capricorn, which is the very last degree of a sign. When a moon or a planet sits at the 29th degree, it is called a critical degree because it is like amplified in its intensity of endings. Basically, it's like last chance saloon for what needs to leave. But what do you know? Sitting right next to Capricorn at this 29th degree and full moon is Pluto, the planet of death and destruction. Now we know that Pluto has been ebbing and flowing in and out of Capricorn and Aquarius. It is going to make Aquarius its home for the next 20 years in November 2024. But since March 2023, it's been in this little transition period where it goes into Aquarius for a bit, gives us a preview of what is to come for the next 20 years, and then dips back to where it's been and really dredges up all the themes of Capricorn that we have lived in for the last 20 years. And it's doing this to have that final squeeze. Like, are we really prepared to let go of the old order of Pluto in Capricorn so that we are fully committed to the new? This is why you may be hearing a lot of spiritual teachers talking about shifts in timelines. In about a month, I'm going to release a podcast episode on the Light Path podcast with Kirsten Leo, talking all about 3D and 5D and how people are kind of being sorted out. People staying in the 3D, the old way of the past, and those of us, you're listening to this, so you're part of it, moving into the fifth dimension. So Pluto sitting right next to Capricorn in this critical degree at the full moon means all the light is being shone upon all those Capricornian themes. Collectively, these are the themes of banking, structure, government, basically top-down power, which has been that way for the last 20 years, where the top down told us that we could be and have whatever we wanted, capitalize, consumerism was king, and it was like get, be, compare, comparison, lot of those Capricornian themes. On a personal level, it's really about our discipline, our inner authority. And this is what this full moon is going to be about for us. So we have this very intense, unique alignment where we're being asked to release anything that is really blocking us from our own inner authority. Now, how do you know what your own inner authority or authenticity is? Well, it is a process, and I actually break it down in the premium moon membership this full moon through my 3-step or 3-aspect process to your own inner authority. So if you are a moon member, if you're not a moon member, come and join us. thelightpathcollective.com, you'll find moon membership, become a premium member. You get 30 days free, so you may as well go for it, where you have all the resources that you need for each full and new moon. So in there, I break down how you discern, curate, and nurture your own inner authority. And with Pluto being here next to Capricorn, we're looking at all the ways in which we may be sabotaging that. And the way I like to conceptualize it or understand it is in ourselves, we all have our own unique superhero that is here to do amazing, impactful, powerful, helpful things on this earth. Now, I don't want you to just focus so much upon the things or where you're going or what you'll be doing, even though we are required right now to have our laser focus on our future, because the past, all the structures, the top down, the power over the people themes will be screaming right now. It has been since March 2023, if not since the big explosion in 2020 with COVID, until November. So we're running out of time to really face these themes within ourselves. But if we are going to be distracted by news and governments and doomsdayers, and not focus on where we're going or the energy that we want to be in, we're going to be sucked back into that energy. So laser focus on your own inner authority and cultivating who you shall be, not what was. Because what was is going to get really loud. It's going to get worse before it gets better, to be quite honest with you. It's like that last tantrum that Pluto in Capricorn is throwing, saying my way, this way, the old way. We're ready for new ways. We're ready for more equality. We're ready for a better, more potent, higher frequency of love. We're ready to do things differently. We're ready for different structures. So we're going to focus on that. Now, if you don't know what you want to do or who you want to be in the future, don't stress. It's not about that. It's like, how do you want to feel? And what you want to feel is deeply connected to yourself. So go there to get the advice in the Moon membership on how to connect to your own inner authority. But we each have that. It's our own superhero. Now, I don't know much about superheroes, but I do know that superheroes generally have this daytime alter ego where they're normal and they're fitting into society. They're being who they should be or who they were told to be. Pluto in Capricorn. So we all have that. And now we're no, but who's the superhero self? And do we give ourselves full permission to be that? And so the light of this full moon is shining upon us to show us all the ways in which we're blocking that, sabotaging that, not allowing that, and we're being asked to release them. It's like this intense energy is in the sky to really help us. So are you going to capitalize on it? For everything you need to do that, including an in-depth talk through all of this energy, a guided meditation, and if you're a premium member, the video on the inner authority, plus a very detailed, comprehensive workbook where you will also receive a full moon ritual, journal prompts, affirmations, incantations, and also a written version of the synopsis of this full moon and all the energy on offer for us. I urge you to work with this one. I urge you to take it seriously. It might be intense. You might want to completely zone out because Neptune's in Pisces and it's really tempting us just to distract ourselves. But if you're willing to work with it, if you're willing to remove some of these self-sabotaging, deprecating, and limiting blocks, I can't wait to see you in your own superhero form in the future. Happy full moon in Capricorn.